Hello friends, welcome to our channel Creating Essence. I am Megan. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm sharing with you all today another food prep video. I've got the baby napping and I have about an hour. We'll see if she gives me that long, but I'm hoping for that much to get a few things taken care of. Now, last time I did this, you all gave me overwhelming feedback that you loved it, that it was super helpful, and you'd love to see more. I will link that video in the info box below in case you want to see it, because in that video I prepared 17 large family meals worth of protein to eat fresh, to keep in the fridge and have in the following days, and to put in the freezer in meal-sized portions for convenience later on. Today I am doing more of a veggie prep space-saving thing. My Misfits Market box just came today. I also just did a grocery pickup yesterday, and we only have a standard size refrigerator, a half-size deep freezer in the pantry, and the pantry is really just an old laundry closet with 2 shelves in it. So food storage space in our home is at a premium. We don't have the space for a larger than average refrigerator, but we eat definitely a larger than average amount of fresh food. So here's how I'm going to break things down, save myself time for meal prep when it comes time to make meals in the future, but also save space in our refrigerator so I can really condense things and make the most of the space I do have. Just to show you what I'm working with, here's our refrigerator and freezer in the kitchen, and it is jam-packed. Every shelf in the door as well. And we also have this whole counter covered in fresh produce that needs to somehow fit in there. We are going to condense things and make this work. As always, we're starting with bread. Today it is one of our family favorites called oatmeal bread. I'm letting the yeast proof and setting a timer for 5 minutes, which is about what it takes for the yeast to activate. In the meantime, I'm gonna do some condensing. I have this big box that is about half full of spring mix and these 2 huge heads of organic romaine lettuce that came in Misfits Market. We prefer to have a mix of the spring mix and romaine for our salads, so I'm gonna chop these up and mix them to have a salad mix ready to go. I'm just gonna use this container. We do like our spring mix chopped up small, so I'm gonna dump this out and chop it first. It's ready for the fridge. Perfect timing. It's starting to get foamy here, so we will dump in the rest of our ingredients. 3 cups of bread flour, 1 cup of oats, 2 tablespoons of oil, a teaspoon of salt, and 1/8 of a cup of honey. I'm gonna mix this up and let it knead for 10 minutes. Next, I have a couple of cabbage. I'm gonna make a quick batch of garlic kraut. If you haven't seen how I do this, I'll put a link to the video in the info box below. A little bit of oil in here. Stir it around. So all the sides are coated. Cover it and put this in the oven on the bread proofing setting because it's just a warm, moist environment for this to rise for the next 40 minutes. All right, the cabbage and garlic made 2 2-liter jars of kraut. So we're gonna put this on the back of the counter to ferment for the next week. This time I'm gonna use it to make fresh pico. We've got a whole bunch of fresh veggies to use up, and that will be the perfect use. My helper has arrived. Good nap? Yeah. We got a pepper from Misfits Market that had been crushed, so this would be the perfect use. 4 boxes of cherry tomatoes, a little more garlic, cilantro, a red onion, and some limes. I use my food processor for all this because I can put it in one ingredient at a time and it really chops things up uniformly for me. I start with the toughest or hardest to chop ingredient, like the pepper. All right, taste testers. Take a bite.
Very good, yeah.
Does it need anything?
Nope.
Now I need to get into my drawer in here, sort things out. I'm gonna pull out all these peppers. Get this lettuce up here with this lettuce so I don't forget it's there. And then I have all these zucchini. These are all still perfectly good. And I got more zucchini today, so I need to break these down for use. Now we have 7 peppers from Misfits Market, so I washed them all up. Some of them have, these aren't bad spots, they're blemishes that happen as the pepper grows. So I'm just gonna go through and chop these into the shape and size that we most often cook with and put them in this bowl. This bowl, as opposed to this colander full of peppers, it may not seem like a huge deal, but this really does save space when I have multiple things like this that I'm condensing in this way to make more space in our fridge. And that's it. Peppers are prepped. Before I deal with this mountain of zucchini and summer squash, I'm gonna check in with the bread. We want it to have doubled in size. And I'd say it did exactly that. So some of these squash have been in the fridge a little while. You can see they're starting to dry out on top. So I'm just gonna go through and cut off any spots. Put those in the chicken bucket. The chickens love food prep days. So ultimately I have 8 zucchini here. For me right now, the best way to use these is going to be shredding them up and making a big batch of zucchini bread or zucchini muffins, some gluten-free zucchini muffins for the freezer, and putting them away in meal-sized portions. Now this is going to take more than the hour that I want to work through, but I can get this shredded now, and then later, maybe tonight after the baby's in bed, something like that, I can pop a batch of muffins in the oven. But prepping this now is going to save me a lot of time later. For most recipes that you're going to use shredded zucchini for baked goods, it's going to call for straining it. I've found the best way to do that is to just put it in a cheesecloth in a colander. If you have the time to just let it sit, it will strain itself like this perfectly, and it will all just roll off the cheesecloth when it's done. If you need to use it right away, it's really easy to just twist this top and squeeze out the water. And the after of the refrigerator. It's a lot more organized. There's a lot more room. We have an almost entirely empty drawer there on the bottom because all those veggies have been prepped through these shelves for everyday use. And this counter over here is empty because those veggies have been used or transformed in some way. So the bread is not quite done. I'll have that baking in about 10 minutes. And the zucchini muffins will be done before I go to bed tonight. So that was a bit more than an hour. I have a fussing baby now, so I have to stop what I'm doing. But I do have a much more organized refrigerator. Stuff is easier to find. Things are ready to just be thrown together into a meal. and things won't go to waste. I find that when I prep ahead of time, I use a lot more things. I know what is in there. Things aren't going bad, they're getting used up because they're really quick and easy to grab, on top of being way more space efficient. This also enables me to do things like get some freezer meals put away, like those zucchini muffins. With that much shredded zucchini, I can easily make 3 or 4 breakfasts of regular and gluten-free zucchini muffins for our family to have for breakfast with a basic protein. I would love to hear if you have any tips or tricks for using space better in your refrigerator or for food prepping to make future meals a lot easier. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it if you think anyone might find it useful, and subscribe to hang out for more. We'll see you again soon.